This is the GBN television news. GBN, covering you from the Grenadine Island chain to Brooklyn, New York, via the World Wide Web on www.gbn.gd.
The news headlines is brought to you compliments GUT Credit Union.
These have been tough times, and we could all use a helping hand to get through this period. GUT Credit Union gives you the opportunity to do just that without a worry. What are you looking forward to? A relaxing staycation? Brand new appliances or devices? Consolidating your debt to get more money in your pocket? Not a member? No worries. Come in and find out how you too can make the most of this offer. Or visit us today. Yes, you can have a brighter Christmas season with GUT Credit Union. GUT Credit Union. It's where you belong.
This is the GBN television news from Monday, January 25th, 2021. I'm Chrislyn, Lashington. In the headlines, 56-year-old prisoner dies in hospital. 15 days of search for Carriacou senior citizen ends with the discovery of Madeleine Ray's corpse. St. David's farmer dies in a freak accident. Cultural ambassador in legal waters in New York. Coast Guard increased patrol to prevent COVID exposure from traveling Vincentians to the sister islands. Trellona Charles joins us tonight.
Tonight in Around the Globe, the United States reinstates travel ban on non-U.S. citizens and residents, and COVID-19 lockdown rules lead to riots in the Netherlands. And in sports, Grenadian Haley Hazard wins at the Hockey Invitational in Virginia. Grenada Football Association is planning to host the Sandals National Under-15 tournament for 2021, and we take a look at the West Indies versus Bangladesh game.
Details right after this message.
Hi, I'm Francis Urias Peters. I'm a good listener, and K105 has always been a great source of education and entertainment. Now, while the station name may have changed over the years, it has always provided valuable information which enabled me as a playwright to document and to celebrate our history, our behavior, and our achievements. K105 is my choice. It's the national station.
Good evening. This is GBN's News at 7. An investigation is ongoing into the death of one prisoner at Her Majesty's Prison. Reports reaching GBN are that a male inmate who has served 15 years of a life sentence for the offense of non-capital murder died while hospitalized at the General Hospital. Reports out of the prison are that the inmate was hospitalized after allegedly slitting his throat last Sunday. A post-mortem is being conducted to determine the cause of death of the 56-year-old whose identity is being withheld. An entire community is in mourning following the death of a well-loved farmer in the area. 52-year-old Vivian Felix of Belle Isle, St. David lost his life on Sunday after what appears to be a freak accident at Felix Park in St. Andrew. More in this report.
The community of Belle Isle went out in their numbers on Sunday evening to search for fellow villager Vivian Felix, affectionately known as Buck, after he didn't return from an early morning mountain expedition. 52-year-old Buck's motionless body was discovered pinned under a fallen tree in an area in Felix Park, St. Andrew, where he set out to work that morning. Details around the incident suggest that the man was cutting down the tree when he met his demise. Ken Martin Whiteman, a long-standing friend of the deceased, said he became concerned after he did not hear from Buck, nor did he show up to finalize a planned cook organized among the fishing friends. Considering that Felix took an unusual amount of time before returning, Whiteman and another friend decided to go search for the missing man, after which he discovered the lifeless body of his friend. He tells the story.
Well, we reached in the garden and we called. We didn't get a response from him. We saw his container with food and everything is on a stone. And I asked the other guy to go right while I go left. And at the same time I looked to the top of the land and I saw a tree, a fallen tree. And I find it kind of suspicious that there would be a fallen tree with all the branches cut and everything like that. So I rushed up to the top. And when I got to there, I saw the chainsaw under the tree. and then I saw him pinned on the ground, and obviously dead. So it seems that if it happened pretty early in the day. So I called the family, I called the police, I arranged for the doctor, and then they all converged on the property, and that's basically it, you know. We mourn the loss of Buck. A huge kakoli tree. I think he misjudged the direction that the tree was going to fall. He was expecting the tree to fall up, so he went and went down. But the tree, instead of falling up, fell down, and probably didn't give him enough time to escape.
According to members of the community, the whole village of Belle Isle went up to Felix Park to visit Buck after hearing he was found without knowing of his actual condition. Though they were in a solemn mood on Monday, they all band together sharing memories and stories of Felix. Every villager shared the sentiment that he was a genuine and hard-working man who would be greatly missed by all.
Well, since I know myself, you can yell at me. So since I know myself, I know that man, you know. And we grew up together, and we go fishing together, you know what I mean? He's a man on the around, he's a man on the block, you know what I mean? He's a very, very nice fella. Nobody can say nothing bad about a man, you know what I mean? The man is a real nice man, I'm telling you. We go fishing together, you know. Be honest with you, up to now, I don't believe the man dead yet, you know. Because I didn't really see him, you know. I don't believe the man dead yet. I'm telling you, because that, watch, up to now, I'm telling you, my heart, watch, cry, a real crying thing yesterday, a real crying thing. I'm not afraid to say that, a real crying thing, you know what I mean?
I came from church, I was plotting my cousin here riding. And not even serve a good, like half an hour. When I finished plotting here, they get a phone call that he beat up in an incident together. Then after the same man called back and he said, he talked to my aunt and he said, he didn't want to tell them that so far they could panic, but the man dead already. So we took a ride and we went. But honestly, when I went by the tree, I couldn't stomach it to see how he lied down there. I just started to cry and then I just go aside.
One blood. What about you? He can come back.
The wife of Felix, who was still in a state of shock when GBN visited, opted not to speak on camera. However, she told GBN she was at work when she heard of the death of her husband, with whom she shares a daughter. The incident remains under investigation. For GBN News, Beverly Telesford.
So unfortunate. Cultural Ambassador Randy Isaac has been arrested and charged in New York. More in this report.
GBN has obtained documents backing claims published on a social media platform that Cultural Ambassador Randy Isaac was arrested in New York. According to the report, Isaac was detained on January 21st by officers attached to the New York Police Department for violation of a court order and assault on his 21-year-old son, resisting arrest, among a number of other charges. He was released on terms and conditions agreed to the following afternoon after spending the night in jail. According to the document, Isaac is due back in court on March 2nd, 2021. Further probe into the documentation from the New York State Court website, Isaac appears to have had several run-ins with the law in New York, where he resides. GBN contacted Randy Isaac for a response. He asked that his wishes be respected, that of giving himself and his family privacy to go through their situation.
Well, this situation with me, I wasn't not jailed, first of all. I went through the system, of course, but it's a personal and private matter with myself and my family. And I would like everybody to please give us a little respect and let us deal with it privately. What I would like they to do for us is to pray for us and wish us well. Isaac believes the article circulated is a personal attack on him for reason he does not know about. There is a lot of fault. There is plenty faults in it. There is plenty faults. You could see the reporter have a personal vendetta against me, which I don't know this person. I don't know this man. And I never had any bad run-in with him or anything, so I don't know why he's going down that road. But God will deal with him in due time. You know, when I have to say, when somebody is digging a hole for you, they must also dig one for themselves, because eventually they will end up in one.
GBN reached out to the publisher of the report, who explained his rationale behind the publication.
Once you are involved in public as a public persona, or you have that public persona, and especially now you do something, whatever that something is, and it gets to police involvement, you should get to the point of in the public domain, so to speak, and police is involved and the courts are involved. What you thought, well, what you think was personal and private no longer is personal and private. A lot of people seem to be missing that point, that the information that is in the story, that's not personal, anything personal on my end.
In response to the article, which claims that Isaac is the bearer of a diplomatic passport, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs has been contacted. However, they denied this, stating that Isaac does not hold a diplomatic passport issued by Grenada. Permanent Secretary in the Prime Minister's office, Lamina Robertson, told GBN that Isaac, who also holds U.S. citizenship, is recognized as one of Grenada's cultural ambassadors and, as such, was issued with an official passport. However, she says it is important to note that an official passport does not guarantee immunity or other such privilege that would be granted to a holder of a diplomatic passport. GBN was informed that the Ministry of Foreign Affairs has been in touch with Mr. Isaac to verify the reported incident. The ministry awaits the outcome of Mr. Isaac's legal matter before the next course of action is determined. Chrislyn John, GBN News.
As the Mungo family is still awaiting confirmation from the RGPF on whether or not the body found just 5 days ago is that of Cecilia Mungo, who has been missing for over a year. The Ray family in Carriacou is now trying to come to grips with their loss, as Miss Madeline Ray was found on Sunday by a search team. Rena Pear tells us more.
Exactly 15 days after Miss Madeline Ray of Mount Royal, Carriacou left her home, her body was found in Top Hill, just about 1 mile from her residence. Members of the Royal Grenada Police Force, NADMA family and friends have been searching for 84-year-old Ray, who suffers from dementia, from the time she was reported missing around midday on January 10th. The search was extended to neighboring areas in a matter of days after a tip indicated that Ray was seen in a neighboring village. Superintendent Aoife Pear, in charge of the RGPF Carriacou district, told GBN the body was found just a few hours after they started their search on Sunday morning.
The search covered areas as Dumfries and to the south, and Mount Royal, an area where Miss Ray went missing from. A search team discovered her body in a ravine it's about a mile or so away from her home, her residence. The search started about 7:30, and about 10:30, the body was found, and the body was identified as Miss Ray.
Pierre said that while they hoped to find the elderly woman alive, he is happy that her family has some closure. He said that the outpouring of support received showed a true community spirit.
From the commencement of this operation, I dare say that a lot of effort was made. A lot of it showed caring for the community, from the community, and for persons in the community.
The superintendent thanked everyone who assisted the RGPF in finding Miss Madeline Ray. For GBN News, I am Rena Pear reporting.
The 32-island state of St. Vincent and the Grenadines has been facing a spike in the number of COVID-19 cases. With the nation's current number of active cases at 602, Grenada's Coast Guard has been taking extra steps to ensure that residents of Carriacou and Petit Martinique are not exposed to the virus by traveling Vincentians. More in this Trellona Charles report.
The rapid increase of COVID-19 cases in St. Vincent and the Grenadines has been a cause of concern for the locals in Carriacou and Petite Martinique because of their close proximity to the neighboring islands. However, in light of the recent outbreak, Grenada's Coast Guard has increased efforts to ensure the safety of the entire population of the tri-island state. Sergeant of Police attached to the Grenada Coast Guard, Dexter Roberts, who is currently stationed in Carriacou, said the Coast Guard has been engaged in active patrol to ensure that no vessels from the neighboring islands enter Carriacou and Petite Martinique.
The Coast Guard has placed an additional vessel here in Carriacou. We have already had one vessel here stationed over a year ago, but an additional vessel has now been placed here in Carriacou, especially to prevent the vessels from coming from Union Island and sending into Carriacou and Petite Martinique. So if you were to go there, you'll see a Coast Guard vessel at all times patrolling between Petite Martinique and Carriacou and Union Island.
He said the presence of the Coast Guard has been successful thus far in deterring unauthorized vessels from attempting to break the Coast Guard's blockade.
And we have established, a credible presence in the sense that we are always there. So I think the world would have gotten out. So persons are no longer, taking a chance to come in. So I would want to believe that both the Coast Guard, Immigration, the Carriacou Police, because the Carriacou Police also has an operation on the land side in terms of the windward areas and stuff like that, with regards to having a presence so that in case any vessel would have evaded the Coast Guard out there, they will be able to deal with it from the land side.
Sergeant Roberts said it has been a joint effort, and he acknowledges residents of Petite Martinique for their cooperation. Because of this, he said the Coast Guard has been able to intercept and redirect every approaching vessel.
They are very happy to see the Coast Guard presence out there, and I can tell you that they are playing their part in keeping themselves safe by informing us of any activities that may be suspicious with regards to vessels coming into Petite Martinique. So hats off to the folks at Petite Martinique, and we want to encourage them. It's a partnership between between everyone, the Coast Guard, the police, the civilian, the fishermen.
All residents of Grenada, Carriacou and Petite Martinique are encouraged to alert the nearest police station or the Coast Guard immediately upon noticing any suspicious vessel approaching our islands. Trellona Charles, GBN News.
Great work there by the Coast Guard. This is news at 7. Coming up, Tawu threatens to take Spice Island Beach Resort management before the International Union of Foods. Stay with us.
There's a reason we have been here to serve you for the past 40 years. A reason we have continued to grow. A reason we have continued to celebrate. That reason is you. We have been here to help you plan for your future and here to help you celebrate your achievements. We continue to be here, even when the future seems unclear, because one thing is certain, you're the reason we care.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Paying is faster and easier with Glow FastPay. Use your MasterCard or Visa and pay from anywhere. Log on to discoverflow.co/fastpay and press Consumer. Select your country and enter your account number. Enter the amount to be paid and an email address. Enter your credit card information. You'll receive a payment confirmation with the transaction details, along with a receipt to your email address. It's fast, safe, and easy. Flow, keeping you connected.
Imagine your day without having to wait in line, without having to write at every store, without touching the pen everyone else used, having your info exposed to everyone. Sounds great, huh? Well, it's possible. Here is Teta. With Teta, you download once, register once, and just scan to check in everywhere. No hassle, no forms, no hold up. Simple and easy. Teta lets you explore, discover new places, new products, and new experiences. What are you waiting for? Get Teta for free from your app store today and enjoy contactless convenience.
Now we can stay safe while at the same time reducing our budget to maintain a clean and safe environment at our home, school, office, church, or even on the bus. Fortune Foods has gone a long way to source premium products that are at least 30 to 50% less than other brands. That's right, 30 to 50% cheaper than other brands. We have a multi-purpose 80% strength liquid sanitizer for cleaning surfaces that is also safe on hands, as well as 70 to 75% gel sanitizers available in 1 gallon and smaller sizes. Plus, when you buy in bulk, you save even more. Right now, every dollar counts. Be wise. Sanitize with Fortune Foods' range of sanitizing products.
Distributed by Fortune Foods Company Limited, Tempe, St. George's. Telephone 435-2247.
When I need shelter, warmth, security, I know you'll be there. Something in these moments lets me know you care. Maybe the way you shield me, maybe it's your smiles and the way you tell me it's okay to try. Now I'm invincible. I can pack my sack. I can take the long road, 'cause it's okay to look back if I am scared. I know you're there. Arise, together there's no limit to what we can do. Arise, with no wings, fly. Arise, and we're so high, enjoy the view. Arise, look, no wings, fly.
This is Ariza, your financial freedom, your future.
New Year! More games and more Sunday, January 31st
From 6 p.m.
Get set for another massive online bingo!
And this time you can win
$10,000 US.
10,000 big ones.
Tickets are $10 US. In Grenada, get your tickets at gotofed.com or box offices island-wide. If you're overseas, tickets are only available at gotofed.com. Tell your friends and family about all the fun and excitement online. And the best part is, you can play from the comfort of your own home. So what are you waiting for? Play Wacky Team Virtual Bingo!
The new way to play bingo.
GBN leads, the others follow. This segment is brought to you by Republic Bank.
There's a reason we have been here to serve you for the past 40 years. A reason we have continued to grow. A reason we have continued to celebrate. That reason is you. We have been here to help you plan for your future and here to help you celebrate your achievements. We continue to be here, even when the future seems unclear. Because one thing is certain, you're the reason we care.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
The ongoing situation between the management of the Spice Island Beach Resort, its workers, and their union representative seems to be deteriorating as executive members of the Technical and Allied Workers Union warn that if a solution is not found, the hotel will force their hands. Rena Pear has more.
President General of the Technical and Allied Workers Union, Andrew Lewis, says One for All is the new strategy used by the managing body of the Spice Island Beach Resort in dealing with the union. The hotel indicated that the workers that would like to leave the company cannot do so unless all workers leave together. He explains that after announcing to workers that they will be laid off and will be paid less than they are entitled to, the managing body of Spice Island Beach Resort changed their minds after the union demanded that workers be paid what is due to them.
It is also insulting for the company to insist that if I, Andrew Lewis, as an employee of Spice Inn, wants to leave in keeping with the collective agreement, that Mary who wants to continue the hotel also have to leave in order for me to be paid. Simple, that's what it boils down to. There are one group of workers who said that, look, we want to leave and pay us for years of service.
According to Lewis, they are far from reaching an amicable solution as the resort remains firm on its decision. He said if one is not reached soon, they will report the matter to the International Union of Food.
We have written to the Prime Minister seeking his urgent intervention. The Minister of Labour has since gotten involved. We are no way closer to a settlement. We are down to meet with the Ministry of Labour tomorrow, again at 11:30 hours. If this matter is not resolved speedily, we will have no other alternative but to officially inform the International Union of Foods, which is an international federation that represents over 20 million workers throughout the world, that is large in the hotel and catering industry. And what may happen will not be good for Grenada.
The President General says while they are reluctant to take this step, they will not sit and watch workers be treated in such a manner, and as such, action needs to be taken. He said they also made a request to the Committee of Social Partners to intervene.
We have made an appeal last week in an engagement with the Committee of Social Partners in the presence of the Prime Minister, because we want to do everything that is absolutely necessary to avoid the potential. But we will not allow Spicing to believe that it can run roughshod over the workers and insist that those who want to leave will only be allowed to leave and be paid if all the other workers decide to leave and go.
GBN contacted Spice Island Beach Resort for a response to this latest development. However, our news team was informed each time that the manager was engaged. For GBN News, I am Rina Pear reporting.
Bus operators in the Grenville area will no longer be able to enter the Grenville bus terminal before 5 a.m. on mornings, as they will be greeted by padlocked chains at the terminal entrance. More in this report.
In an exclusive interview with the GBN on the weekend, President of the Grenville Bus Association, Abraham Monroe, said the padlocked chain was placed at the entrance of the terminal to combat the issue of bus operators parking their buses overnight at the terminal to secure loading positions. According to Monroe, this act is not right, as he said it is usually committed by bus drivers who live close to the terminus as a means of cheating the system. He said buses will usually have to register at 5 a.m. due to the curfew restrictions to start the day's process. He explained that the decision was made at a general meeting among members.
The decision was made in an official meeting. We even take vote on it, which we're not supposed to, because that is right and wrong. You're not supposed to come and pack a bus tonight for the next day. But it's not about me, it's about the executive members, the other members who is unfair. They're coming out to work at reasonable time and the same bus packed there at early as 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock for the next day. That is unfair, very much so. Well, we spoke in a meeting, an official meeting, and let them know that the next day began at least 1 minute past 12. So if you're there that time, no problem in coming in, right? But due to the curfew, it is 5 o'clock that the curfew is lifted. So from anything after 5 in the morning, you will start registering the bus for the next day, first pack, second pack, third pack, or whatever. The permission was granted by the persons in the charge of the terminal. The letter was submitted to them in regards to the permission from the authority to make the security have that chain there, and that was granted. The police have a key for the chain, and the next spare key, the person responsible for the terminal have that spare key, and the security have a next one to open the chain when 5 o'clock in the morning for buses to come in.
On the other hand, Patrick Andrew, floor member of the association, says that for such a decision to be made, it must be discussed in a forum of 17 persons. He told GBN that such a decision was never made in any meeting, and as such, the action taken by the president is on his own and unconstitutional.
We had meeting talking, they discussing about men coming and pack overnight. And some didn't agree about that, but the meeting ended up prematurely. but there was no discussion about chain putting there. I only heard of a chain being placed there on the wayside, where we all talk, you know. Nobody is cooperating, everybody doing their own thing, you know. So we're real shambles.
The Flow member says the association is presently in disarray, as many decisions made are not in line with the Bus Association's constitution.
But usually, the association right now is in a disarray. When there's a meeting, there are 4, 5, 6 persons come, you know, and things are not going good. The association is mashed up. So things in real shambles, things not going in the proper way it's supposed to be. You know, there are no proper structure in place, you know. So the association is doing, the president doing his own thing. It's a divide and rule tactics, you know.
For GBN News, I am Rina Pear reporting.
Legislation on the decriminalization of cannabis to be brought before the Houses of Parliament before March. This is when the first reading should take place. That's according to Agriculture Minister Peter David. Details in this report.
Minister for Agriculture Peter David explains the direction government is going in terms of decriminalization of cannabis. The discussion began last Friday as various interest groups lend their voices to the debate.
That legislation has already been drafted, which legislation would be brought to Parliament soon for a first reading and thereafter consultations. And the legislation does outline decriminalization of a certain quantity. The starting point will be decriminalization of a small amount, and that is aimed primarily for avoiding young persons who may have a small quantity getting criminal records and therefore disrupting the academic or other career that they may have. So the first step will be decriminalization of a small amount. Secondly, there will be in the legislation a discussion on allowing cultivation of a small amount, meaning 4 trees, 5 trees. Some countries have said 4, some countries have said 3, some have said 5. We are going to go in that direction. And the third issue was the allowing of the Rastafarians in Grenada and the organizations to use cannabis as a sacramental offering. So,
government has indicated, according to him, that it has accepted the Commission's report, which is to change the status quo that cannabis being characterized as a dangerous drug cannot continue. The Agriculture Minister said that the Commission report itself indicates that each CARICOM country will do so according to its specific domestic conditions. Mr. David explained that this will be taken in strides.
First issue is the first step is to deal with criminal justice issues. That is, to ensure that we do not have our young people getting criminal records, our young people getting into all kinds of trouble because of the fact that we have cannabis, a small amount, as a criminal offense. We are going to go in the direction of changing that. The second step is to allow, not the second step, as part of the first step is also small quantities and the use by the Rastafarians. After that, we are going to address the larger issues of cultivation, medicinal use, and production of cannabis as an income-earning product for the country. I anticipate that before March, it will be. Sometime in February or early March, we should see that legislation being brought. But after the legislation is placed for first reading, we hope that then we'll have some discussions about the legislation and then come back for second reading maybe a month after.
The Agriculture Minister spoke about what can be expected after the first reading of the proposed bill.
Prime Minister indicated, and as Minister of Agriculture, we are going to engage in some consultations on the issue. The polls have indicated, and all the information coming into the Commission has indicated, that a vast majority of Grenadians support some form of change to the status quo. Decriminalization, some of them support. Legalization, some of them support. And somewhere in between to do. In fact, in 2018, 61% of Grenadians supported it. And since 2018, there has been a drastic change in the direction of decriminalization, to the extent that the activity last week was organized by the Conference of Churches. So we are going to go in that direction. The specifics of where we go is going to be a matter resultant from the discussions we have with civil society groups, community groups, Rastafarian organizations, etc.
Chrislyn John, GBN News.
And now we turn our attention to what's been creating a buzz on social media. Trellona Charles has been looking around the platforms.
This is Social Buzz, where we shine a light on the thoughts and concerns of our online audience. The Grenada Hotel and Tourism Association has elected a new board of directors for the upcoming year. Tonight, we listen to some advice given by our callers on GBN's morning radio program to the association as they aim to take Grenada forward during the COVID-19 pandemic.
Product development, because I have a cousin, he has traveled widely, and he says, knowing what we have in Grenada, when you see the tourism product here compared to those people who have nothing, that needs a lot of attention.
We have to improve the sites and things and make it modernize and open new sites, upgrade the sites, man. Even with the 4-day, we have a nice 4-day, but you need upgrading.
Need a transportation to really take tourism to the destination, and the transport is agriculture in every aspect. And I think when we apply ourselves as the human resources to it, we can be profitable.
My suggestion is that we have to make tourism now, seeing that the world is in crisis proportion. Consequently, we have to see how well we could develop our own people to take tours and so on, and maybe charge them reasonable price for the vehicles. That's mean the taxis and the this and the that.
My point for tourism is they have to get out of the office, do some walking like the Market Square and okay at the different sites. And inquire, let's say, have interviews with different personnel, especially them tourist vendors and the entertainers, and because the entertainers could push them a long way.
That's it for tonight's Social Buzz. As always, if you would like to have your thoughts and concerns shared, be sure to comment on GBN's Facebook page.
From the thought process to the visual impact, it's time to take a peek through the GBN ISAW lens.
Captures all. GBN ISAW is brought to you by Clear Vision.
You know us, but we knew. You feel at home with every visit. An experienced team offering personalized courtier service and trendy brand name lifestyle products. Changing the vision care landscape one customer at a time. Clear Vision Eye Center. People and technology coming together to help you see the world with a clearer vision.
Our ISAW submissions come from all corners of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. Tonight, we get photographs from Her Majesty's prisons of some huge produce. Pictured are a cabbage and a head of cauliflower, both larger than the size of the average human head. These vegetables were grown by the inmates at the prison. Send us your photo and video submissions from anywhere across the Tri-Island via WhatsApp on 4053052 or our other social media platforms.
Still ahead, concerned agriculturist holds fruitful meeting with MNIB. Stay with us.
How going on, boy?
Hey, good old things.
Hey, easy.
Yeah.
Boy, in line, boy. Your house looking a real good day.
Boy, it's thanks to the hard-working and professional staff at the Housing Authority of Grenada. They handled me real nice. They did my plan, they did the construction, and I didn't even have to worry about a thing. They were there with me every step of the way, supervising the job, asking me about my concerns, giving me feedback as the house took shape. They were there from start to finish, and even put the keys in the palm of my hand. I give them an A++ for customer service.
Oh, it's people from housing bad, boy.
Boy, not bad. Excellent. If you're thinking about constructing your home, why not consult the Housing Authority of Grenada? You could visit them right down in the Sandino complex, or give them a call, 440-1015 or 440-1016. Or check out their website, hag473.com. They go handle you. They go jog your blocks, they go draw your plan, they go tote your materials. Hey man, where you going? The Housing Authority of Grenada is your choice for affordable housing and a stress-free construction experience.
What are you looking for? Top quality copy paper, linen paper, bond paper maybe, or lunch bags, maybe a gift set, or maybe you're just not sure. Then visit us today, K&R Bookstore. We are so much more than your regular bookstore. Visit us at the corner of Scotch and Young Street, or give us a call 420-5307 or 321-3500. K&R Bookstore. Convenience, quality, excellent prices.
A message by the Grenada Distillers Limited.
You want a hand sanitizer to do 3 things: kill germs, be gentle, and to go where you go. You can get all of that in our hand sanitizer. Hard on germs, gentle on hands, affordable. Remember, hand sanitizers contain alcohol. Keep away from heat and flames and avoid contact with eyes. Available at retailers island-wide.
A message by the Grenada Distillers Limited.
This is GBN. We've got the means, the power, and the medium. This segment is brought to you by Flow.
Your hard work, talent, and creativity, plus Flow, equals more ways to chase your dreams. Flow is connecting all of Grenada, from Point Salines to Hillsborough, with the most reliable connection on the island. So now everyone can work, study, and keep moving forward together. Visit discoverflow.co for more information.
This is News at 7. Acting CEO of the Marketing and National Importing Board, Elvis Young, has described it as extremely fruitful, no pun intended, speaking of his meeting with agriculturist Dennis Canning on Friday. The meeting was initiated by Canning, who said he is concerned about the state of business as it relates to the MNIB, given the impact of the pandemic. We get more in this report.
The 2 major issues brought to the table by Dennis Canning were that of marketing or export and the way forward for MNIB, given the fact that the state-owned board has lost a great deal of local market access as a result of the impact on tourism by the pandemic. Acting CEO of the Marketing and National Importing Board, Elvis Young, says the challenge of the pandemic continues, surrounding the uncertainty with the hospitality sector.
The Marketing Board now has the challenge to work closely with its farmers, right? I mean, I think now, more than ever, we need to get to the farmers and have the farmers be as efficient as possible. Know what to produce, work with Marketing Board to help guide the production process to avoid the glut on the market.
Young notes that with the decline in product demands from the sector, which is a major consumer of MNIB goods, they are forced to lean heavily on planned production.
Because each farmer that goes into production, that farmer hopes that 3-4 months down the road, when that crop is harvested, he would meet the market when the condition is favorable for him or her getting the best price. For that to happen, it takes organization. You have to know what you're planting now based on the projected condition of the market.
The acting CEO says they are currently in the process of preparing contracts with several farmers.
What that contract or those contracts would do is to help guide that production, process that I'm speaking about. We would look a couple months down the road, and we have a vast amount of data that would help us to know what items would be short on the market and when.
One major recommendation by Mr. Canning was that of engaging export marketing personnel to canvass the entire eastern coast of the U.S. and other major areas to determine what local products are in demand. References were also consistently made of the demand for soursop and Grenada's spices. I am Gerard Joseph for GBN News.
Grenadian institutions and their teachers and lecturers have had to change their approach to tutoring students as they, along with the rest of the world, adapt to the COVID-19 pandemic. It is now nearing 1 year since schools in Grenada experienced an earlier closure as the nation first felt the impact of the novel coronavirus. Top local tertiary institution TAMCC was obviously not spared by the brunt of the virus. Virtual classes took precedence, and even when physical classes resumed, a blended approach ensued as the school had to adhere to physical distancing protocols. GBN's Gerard Joseph has been speaking to school officials to find out how the students and the institution itself have been coping with the changes.
School reopened on January 11th, and 2021 is already not providing any relief for the T.A. Marijo Community College and its students. For some students, their courses are being delivered fully online, while others are by way of a blended approach. GBN sat down with Christina Swan Awaga, Corporate Communications Officer for TAMCC, who says one of the major challenges has been accessibility for students.
The whole change of environment and students having the appropriate tools to do the work, that was the main highlighted issue we realized from the survey. Gadgets, tools, environments, this was the main issue.
She says with the onset of the pandemic, TAMCC had already been ahead of the times with the continued rolling out of its distance learning department. The process of online learning was then accelerated by the pandemic.
And so it just meant that we had to use the same format to find a structure that was common to most courses to be able to offer it online. So there were lecturers who were getting training from since 2017. COLE, which is the Commonwealth of Learning, they would have assisted TAMCC in 2017 to facilitate a 2-day workshop with faculty as it relates to flexible learning approaches. And through that came about 3 other different training sessions.
Noting that not all faculty were trained, the Corporate Communications Officer says that remained a hindrance to the delivery of online learning to students. However, that too, she says, was overcome during the year.
Because as you may know, online instruction is a little bit different to face-to-face in terms of how much it requires to keep the students' attention, the type of tools that you will have to use to share information. It will have to be more interactive, more interesting, more, attention catching, so that students will remain focused and attentive throughout the sessions, and also to be able to have some form of discussion forums even after the classes where they can discuss with their other classmates, get feedback from the lecturers before moving on to another class session.
I am Gerard Joseph for GBN News.
Stay with us. Weather and sports are up next.
Hey man, well man, that's you making that trip. Why doing all this more?
Things tight since COVID, you know. And Christmas coming, the toys to build, and my house and my car to repair, the wife go and chill with and what you want me to do?
I'm expected to do all that with more.
But what you want me to do?
Why don't go down my communal? You don't have to pay them until January. They have 20,000 in giveaway giving away, and the interest rate low.
And listen to me, I try them orders and them never look good. Who they want them on?
Well, watch, like you have more than your ears. Choose your loan at communal, giving you the money for what you want to do. It's a loan for you.
You know what? I'll get them a little try.
Listen. Where you going on this mud? Don't need it. Leave the mud, man. When you go down there, the rate's low. Low.
Are you looking
looking for quality herbs and herbal supplements, or are you thinking about having a complete body cleanse to jumpstart your health? Then no need to look further. Visit Nirvana Natural Health Clinic, Detox Center, and Natural Health Store. We carry a wide range of herbal products for kidney and gallstone cleansing, male sexual enhancement formulas, asthma and sinusitis, gas and bloating, acid reflux, constipation, arthritis, imbalanced hormones, female health issues, liver cleansing, weight loss, and so much more. Also available, colonic irrigation, holistic health consultations, essential oils, and diffusers. Look out for our online natural health store coming soon. Call 231-6642, 418-7115, or 449-7753 to find out about our delivery options or to book an appointment. Visit us at Belmont St. George's, close to the Foliage, Monday to Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Nirvana Natural Health Clinic. Detox your way to health.
Keeping an eye on the weather. This is GBN. We've got you covered.
Tonight's minimum temperature, 24.5 degrees Celsius. The weather is expected to be generally fair, becoming partly cloudy at times, with the possible isolated showers. Winds are east-northeasterly to easterly at 8 to 18 miles per hour. Seas moderate, waves 4 to 6 feet in open waters. There are no warnings at this time. The tides are low at 7:50 p.m. and high at 1:50 a.m. As we look ahead for the coming days, on Tuesday, the weather is expected to be generally fair and breezy, becoming partly cloudy at times, with few brief morning showers possible. And on Wednesday, hump day, generally fair and windy, becoming partly cloudy at times, with few brief morning showers possible. On Thursday, the weather is expected to be generally fair and breezy, becoming partly cloudy at times, with few brief morning showers possible.
Good evening, sporting fans. I'm Trellona Charles. Grenadian Haley Hazard won the women's 200-meter at the Hockey Invitational Meet held in Blacksburg, Virginia on Saturday. In the finals run over 3, Hazard, Grenada's 2018 Junior Sportswoman of the Year and a senior at the University of Virginia, clocked 24.04, her time in Section 1, from which 2 of the 3 medalists emerged. Kayla Bonnick, a graduate of St. Jago High School in Jamaica and a freshman at Virginia, clocked 24.72 for second in Section 1, but was third overall as Kaya East of Louisville won Section 3 in 24.55 for second place overall. The Grenada Football Association is hopeful that they will be able to pull off another edition of the Sandals National Under-15 tournament in 2021. The competition, which is normally run in the first quarter of the year, was concluded in November last year due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Competitions officer Bruce Swan has been speaking about hosting the tournament this year in a special report from the GFA.
Sandals National Under-15 tournament, we have 2 workshops that we hold. Coaches workshop, which deals with the technical aspects of the game. It covers how to train this age group of children, how to prepare for matches, how to prepare for competition, and go through all the relevant technical and tactical abilities that is required at that level. The technical director, Mr. Jerry Alexis, will be facilitating along with Mr. Roger Griffith and Mr. J. Gurney. The manager's workshop will be held on Tuesday at 4:30. And at the managers workshop, we deal with things like what the managers are required to do during the competition, before the competition, and after the competition. That workshop will also go through the regulations for the under-15 competition. And like I said, the necessary details as to preparing for the match, what time the team is expected to arrive at the match, and what are the protocols, COVID-19 protocols that we have. We have not had a chance to pull them together to do that workshop, but we're going to do that and go through all the COVID-19 protocols that we have established. Well, the truth is the tournament is scheduled to kick off on the 6th. It's doubtful. We need to get permission to have at least 75 people at our venues, given a team alone is 25 with players and administrators. So 2 teams plus your referees and other coordinating personnel that will have to be on the ground.
Rovman Powell batted with purpose and Alzari Joseph bowled with heart, but West Indies were outperformed by Bangladesh in the third and final one-day international on Monday. Powell top-scored with a fluent 47 of 49 balls as he played some attractive strokes. He hit 2 4s and 2 6s. Nkrumah Bonner made 31 and Raymond Rafer also scored 27 as West Indies were bowled out for 177 of 44.2 overs in reply to 297 for 6 of their 50 overs. Earlier, fast bowler Joseph took 2 for 48 off his 10 overs in an impressive spell where he limited the scoring of the top order, while Rafer took 2 for 61 with his left arm seam bowling. Bangladesh, however, hit a purple patch in the closing stages where they made over 100 runs off the last 10 overs of the innings. That's it for sports. Up next, Around the Globe. Tonight, we take a probe around the globe to see what's happening. The United States will reinstate a travel ban on non-U.S. citizens and residents from entering the country, including people from Brazil, the United Kingdom, and South Africa. The level of COVID-19 cases in the U.S. has passed the 25 million mark. President Joe Biden has promised to administer 100 million doses of COVID-19 vaccines in the next 3 months and also wants Congress to pay a nearly $2 trillion pandemic relief bill. Al Jazeera's Rosalind Jordan reports from Washington, D.C.
Okay. It's the worst affected country in the world. Nearly a year after the U.S. recorded its first COVID-19 case, that number has climbed to more than 25 million.
Put your head back up a little bit.
That's 1 in 14 Americans infected with the disease. Almost 420,000 of them have died. President Joe Biden says the pandemic is his top priority. But his team is already revising his goal of vaccinating 100 million Americans in 100 days.
It was a little bit of a misunderstanding. What we're talking about is 100 million shots in individuals. So shots, as in other words, when you get down to, let's say, a certain part of the 100 days, at the end of 100 days, you're going to have some people who will have gotten both shots and some will still be on their first shots. What the president is saying, 100 million shots in the arms of people within 100 days.
And Biden officials are accusing the Trump administration of making a grave mistake in its pandemic response plans.
Everyone American has seen the way in which people get vaccine is chaotic. It's very limited. We've seen this factor all over the country where millions of doses have been distributed. About half of that has been given out.
The president wants Congress to approve nearly $2 trillion in pandemic relief spending. This on top of a $900 billion measure passed back in December. Biden's fellow Democrats say supporting the economy is critical right now, but congressional Republicans say not so fast.
The idea that we need a stimulus is a little hard to understand because I'm one of those that's convinced that if you want to see this economy get going, we got to get beyond COVID. If we get beyond COVID, I believe that the economy is going to come roaring back, and spending and borrowing trillions of dollars from the Chinese, among others, is not necessarily the best thing we can do to get our economy to be strong long term.
Before Donald Trump left the White House, he lifted a COVID-19 travel ban on non-Americans coming from Europe and Brazil. But on Monday, that ban comes back and will extend to those coming from South Africa by the end of the week. The U.S. reportedly is trying to stop the spread of the so-called South Africa variant of COVID-19. Another variant from the U.K. has already been found in 20 U.S. states. And it said the list of countries could get longer if that's what it takes to end the pandemic. Rosalind Jordan, Al Jazeera, Washington.
More than 200 people have been detained across the Netherlands while protesting against coronavirus lockdown rules. Police deployed to 10 cities on Sunday used water cannons to clear some of the crowds. Al Jazeera's Andrew Chappell has more.
For the first time since World War II, the capital of the Netherlands is under curfew. From 9 in the evening until 4:30 in the morning, people in Amsterdam have been told to stay home. And on Sunday, this was the reaction of many. Crowds of hundreds of people voicing defiance.
I don't agree with the actual politics in the Netherlands, the restrictions of freedom.
The media don't always show these protests nicely, but I hope we can show that this is just a voice saying no. We are so afraid that we're going in the wrong direction. This is understandable, but it's really the wrong way.
Bars, restaurants, cinemas and cafes in the country had already been ordered to close in October, but the extra restrictions have created an unexpected backlash.
I don't agree with the curfew because I don't believe that it will have a big effect overall. I believe that people will come up with alternatives anyway. Normally people would meet at 9 p.m., but now they will meet at 3 p.m. They will keep on seeing each other.
Parliament tightened the restrictions last week to prevent a new surge in cases from a coronavirus variant first identified in the UK. Police were deployed in Amsterdam and at least 9 other cities. Nearly 200 people were arrested in the Dutch capital on Sunday, where water cannon were used on demonstrators. Another 90 were detained in Eindhoven, where the central train station in the city was attacked and vehicles burned. The Prime Minister has condemned the violence.
This is unacceptable. Every normal person can only be disgusted by this. One really wonders what has got into these people. This has nothing to do with protesting. It's criminal violence, which we'll treat as such.
The government has also banned flights from South Africa, South America and the UK, and is preventing ferries carrying British passengers from docking. Officials have issued a message telling people not to travel to the Netherlands, and the national lockdown is due to remain in place for at least the next 2 weeks. Andrew Chappell, Al Jazeera.
That's it for tonight's Probe Around the Globe. Stay with us for a reminder of tonight's top stories.
A recap of this evening's headlines. 56-year-old prisoner dies in hospital. 15 days of search for Carriacou senior citizen ends with the discovery of Madeleine Ray's corpse. St. David's farmer dies in a freak accident. Cultural ambassador in legal waters in New York. Coast Guard increased patrol to prevent COVID exposure from traveling Vincentians to Carriacou and Petit Martinique. In around the globe, the United States reinstates travel ban on non-U.S. citizens citizens and residents, and COVID-19 lockdown rules lead to riots in the Netherlands. In sports, Grenadian Haley Hazard wins in the Invitational in Virginia. If you missed any part of this newscast, a repeat of it will be broadcast at 10 o'clock tonight. Continue to follow us online at www.gbn.gd or check out our Facebook page and YouTube channel for these and other top stories. That's the news for tonight. I'm Chrislyn Lashington. We'll see you again. Good night.